Alright guys, it's your girl Shaylane2121, and this video is going to be of Clay and his mom canning of those tomatoes that we told you about the other day. So this is their show because I have no idea about canning. So what are you guys going to do first, Clay?
We're boiling water real quick.
You're boiling water real quick?
Yep.
And what are you guys going to use to do your canning?
Mason jars.
The mason jars?
Yeah, that's what everybody uses.
And so where did you get these mason jars from? These ones are older ones, I know. So these are larger. These ones I know we got from Walmart, and I think they were like $7 for 12, and they are, I believe, pint-sized jars. So that's how big they are. So it should be able to hold a lot of tomatoes. And oh, they're gonna use lemon juice, I guess, to keep the color in the tomatoes. I guess, I don't know, to preserve them with the salt and the lemon juice. Well, your mom said it was to keep the color. See? Burn.
It's for the color.
See? It's for the color. See?
It's to preserve.
Whatever. Okay, be back.
Guys, how are you doing? We're here doing a canning video and checking back in. We're washing these off because they need to be really clean. That's what we're doing. Mason jars, a lot of soap, put them in the sink, wash them off. Don't want no bacteria in there. Alright, now that we've washed these jars out, we've washed them out in the sink, got them all disinfected. Now we're going to sterilize them, dipping them in this jar full of boiling water. Actually, it's not boiling, it's about 180 degrees. You don't want to boil them because you mess the lids up. Put it in there for about 10 minutes and then they'll be sterile and take them out. Now that they've boiled for 10 minutes, get the jars out, and you might want to get a close-up and see how to get them out so you don't burn yourself. So, get them out and dump the water out like this, slowly.
Are those special tongs?
Yeah, they are. You got them from Fry's. They sell everything. Then you want to take these and I put them upside down so no dust or anything gets in them and they stay sterilized. Smart, huh?
Very much so.
Alright, we'll get the rest of them out.
Okay, so we'll get the rest of them
So
out.
while I'm doing this, I got water boiling over here for tomatoes because I'm going to dip tomatoes in there for about 30-40 seconds and then they're going to get, the skins will start cracking. Then you take them out and peel the skins. You put them in the ice water first. That's ice water.
So we got a colander, and he's got where it's going to be some ice water to put those in there.
Well, ice is in there already melted.
Oh.
Water's still cold. That's the point. We want cold water.
Cold water. All right. So we'll be back when they do all the rest of that. All right.
This tool comes with a kit that you can buy. Fry canning kit. It's a magnet. So you can get these jars out, or the lids, without burning yourself.
Ah, quite handy.
Actually, I'm not even joking about that. But that kid from Standby.
That's really handy. What a great tool.
Can you believe that? I swear to God.
Try not to touch them too, because your hands are dirty.
When I grew up to become a famous Hollywood actor,
On the bottom, and the part that's going to go on.
about a week ago, he took an overdose. Sorry.
Like you don't want to touch the bottom, it's going to be on the inside.
Okay. On the curb.
So you put them upside down.
And now we're left with a hair-lipped reminder of what might have been.
All right.
Here's the tomatoes.
All right, let's get these ready to go.
All right.
Ooh, yeah. All right,
Alright, let me switch places.
we're going to put these tomatoes in here, and you only want to put them in there for about 30 to 45 seconds till the skins start cracking. Take them out and put them in a bath of ice water.
All right.
There we go. Watch your fingers.
And we're doing this for...
So you can peel the skins.
Oh.
Don't take long. Alright, so now we got them boiling. Now that we put them in there, the skins are starting to split. This is what you want to see. See that?
Yep.
Then you just put them into the bath water
Into the bath water.
of ice.
Now if you'll notice how they're starting to shrivel up in the ice bath, so they should be really easy to peel.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and try to peel one. Show them what's up. See that skin is falling
Oh, yeah.
off? And we got a bucket right here for our skins.
Look at that.
Just comes right off.
Cute.
Then you're supposed to core it too.
You can core them
Get your
after
little
you get
knife.
them all done.
You want to? Be faster right now. Then you have to figure out which ones you did and didn't do.
Yep, comes right on off. Cool.
After we finished boiling them to get the skins off of them and peeled them, we cut them in half and filled them up with their own juices, a little extra water, boiling water, hot water, and let them boil for about 5 minutes.
Alright.
And then they'll be ready to go into the jars.
Some people actually just put the tomatoes in there and then have boiling water on the side and pour that into the jar.
Okay.
They'll ladle it in there, but we like to use the juices from the tomatoes.
Makes sense. Okay. Alright.
From when you cut them up, the juice from when you cut them up.
So would that be considered like some stewed tomatoes?
It would be.
Alright.
As you can see, we have other tomatoes here that have been peeled and chopped up a little finer so that you can have chopped tomatoes.
Ooh, perfect for chili.
We're also going to make a batch of whole tomatoes.
Okay. So we got wholes, halves, and dices.
And quarters, yeah.
And quarters. Alright.
Alright, those are done boiling. So what you're going to do is put half a teaspoon of salt in the jar. I only got a quarter teaspoon, I don't get the half, so I'm doing 2 of these. You'll think I'm lying to you. And then you're going to put a tablespoon of lemon juice, 100% real lemon juice. You can get out the one that comes in a jar. That wasn't enough, so I put a little drop more.
And they've got a cool little funnel, you know, that's just got a big mouth on the end of it.
You
So
can
you
go
can get everything in
the rest of the jar while I'm
into the jar.
What that does is it prevents the outside of the jar getting dirty when he's putting those tomatoes in there.
Ah.
And the salt and the lemon juice is basically preservatives. The lemon juice will help with the color. And also changes the acidity in here. So, get your ladle. Start putting them in.
I'm gonna move this jar. Can I touch it?
Sure.
I'm gonna move that one out of the way.
Well, get as many tomatoes in there as you can, and then put the juice last. So you can pack it down real good too.
And so how long will these last after they've been
these things are
canned?
going to be in here for like a year.
Alright.
But in my refrigerator, they might not, or my pantry, they might not last that long.
Now, they'll definitely be good for chili and stews. You don't have to go out and buy those. You can just go in there and grab your own that you canned already.
So that's good. And then with the juice in there, you want it about an inch from the top, ½ inch.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind him.
Oh, you want to?
Also, what we didn't tell you before is you want to make sure all these jars are free of any like impurities or anything like cracks or nicks or anything on top, and that basically the sealing glue that's on here is all even, nice and even around there, because that's going to make for a good seal.
Okay.
They're gonna.
Oh, and what are you doing?
Right now I'm putting the lid on the tops. I cleaned off the rims really good.
Okay.
And now I'm just putting the lid on top.
What I tell you? 3 jars.
That's all I did?
Remember I told you 3 jars?
Yeah, we just figure about 3 jars.
We? Look at you. Well, like a little short too.
That's alright, you can use some of these here.
Those in there. little bit more. Well, you're not cooking sushi.
Yeah.
Well, you need that for sushi. As my daughter would say, perfect.
And now, will you put the rings on once you'll put those on next, or how does that work?
You put these on first.
Okay.
And then you'll take these rings and put them on. You want them finger tight. You don't want to put them too tight because they'll explode on you.
Okay. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so you take them, you just do them finger tight.
And why will they explode? Because of the pressure,
Because
or
what happens when these things actually boil, the steam and everything in here boils all the bacteria out of here, and the pressure pushes all that out. And then that rubber seal that you saw under the glue stuff they put on there, just basically prevents the air from coming back in.
So basically, it'll tighten on its own with all the pressure when it pushes it out.
When you take them out of the jar, and you take them out and set them on the counter, and they start to cool, the barometric pressure, it's even from the heat. You know what I mean? Like Mythbusters. You know how they make something cold, like hot, and then they put ice on it,
Right.
and it's sucked in. Well, it's the same when you put heat, and when it cools off, then the air goes out. But it won't be able to come back in.
All right.
The lid's holding the seal. Like a bicycle pump. When you suck the air, when you push it out, it's got the way the rubber is. Not really like a bicycle pump. Just give you an example. You know?
This is very neat. I'm learning a lot. I always wondered how canning was done. This is very cool. So, Brenda, what else can you can? I know you come from a side of some canning peoples.
You can can corn, peppers, strawberries. That's my next project. Making
Good.
strawberry jam.
Ah.
You can can pretty much anything.
Now that we've got some of the jars filled up enough to can them, put them in a canner, as they say, then we'll go ahead and just dip them in there. Get the whole thing filled up.
Now, as you can see,
This is about 180 degrees. It's not boiling yet. That water's just hot. Then you turn the heat up, let it come to a rapid boil, cover it, and 40 minutes, it'll be done. For a pint, you'll do 40 minutes. For a quart, wherever it is, you do 45 minutes.
so that's what they look like so far. These are not done yet. These need to be put in the
whole,
water.
These are whole. So all the ones I put in there, some of them were, well, we already told them they're
Yeah.
chopped.
And so he's making more. There was, like I said, if you guys watched the Market on the Move trip, you guys need to check that out if you haven't. This was all the produce that we got, all these tomatoes for $10, plus we got eggplants and other veggies. A whole bunch of them for only $10. So now we're canning these to preserve them so they don't go bad. So he's on a mission to do all of them tonight. So there's quite a few. All right, we'll be back once those are ready to take out of the water. All right.
Alright, now they boil for 40 minutes, so what you want to do is just turn the heat off, take the lid off of it, and let it cool for 5 minutes. Then you'll take them out and set them on a dry towel, and put them on the table.
All right. So we'll be back in 5 minutes.
These ones in the back I put on 10 minutes later, so they still got 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So there's more water left. All right. Action.
Alright, so the proper amount of time has passed. What you want to do is make sure all the lids got sucked in. You shouldn't hear like the clinky noise. It should be sucked in. And then once they've sucked in, you've checked all that they all sucked in. You want to unscrew one and kind of just give it a little tug to make sure. And it's sealed. And that's it.
Do that one more time.
Just take the sleeve off. Just pull it with your finger underneath the lip. Make sure it's sealed nice and good. Put it back on. Snug it up. And then you put them in a cool, dark place.
All right.
And they should be good to use them.
So those are the cans of tomatoes that he got. How many did you get? 16 jars?
So no, 18.
18 jars. All right, cool beans. So that is how you can tomatoes, guys. I never knew. So I learned a lot from watching. So there you go. So that's another frugal way. Now you have your own canned tomatoes, and you didn't pay much for them at all.
So we cut them up different too. So we got like Q is quarters, you know, W is whole tomatoes, H is we just cut them in half. So you know when you put them with your food, you know, like kind of how they're cut up. You know what I mean? And
then also, can you use these jars?
You can reuse these jars. The only thing you need to redo
is the lid.
Get the new lids. I have some just so you see them.
And how much do the lids cost?
About $2 for like 12 of them or something like that. You just get the new lids. Depending if you have the regular mouth, wide mouth, then you can reuse the sleeve in the jar and everything. Just put new lids on.
So just new lids. So you just have the investment of actually getting the jars, and then after that, you know, just really those little.
And then I usually label, since you're gonna throw the lid away anyways. Once it's done, I'll label it the date that I canned them, so I know. Like people buy labels and put it on the jar, but I mean when I get a Sharpie and it's right on the lid, it's easier for me.
Sounds good. All right, guys. So that's been canning tomatoes with clay. So talk to you guys later. Deuces.
See you.